When I was asked to present here on the topic of global information and the information and competitive intelligence in a global environment, I was thinking about what information is more about. Is it about value? How much is it cost? Does it cost? Why is information so valuable to us today? And I actually had two different perspectives to think about it. One was the perspective of the user. I'm currently a business development manager of AI data processing, and I have about 8 years in experience in the information industry from both the side of the seller, the producer of information, and the user as such. So it was like initially I thought of, okay, information is all about finding the right information, placing it on time, delivering it in the right place, in the right format, so that the decision makers who will use this information will find it more relevant and make faster decisions and more proper decisions. But on the other hand, come to think of it, not only as a supplier but also as a user of information, it's all about the value of information. Is all about how this information we have transforms into business performance, how the information actually transforms into business results. And this question is actually the question which shows us both sides of the equation and shows us what information value is all about. Now, come to think of it, when we have transformation and information in one place, it always requires governance. Because transformation, changing, taking the raw material, whatever, you always need to govern the way this raw material is used, how it's sourced, how it's processed, and the outcomes of it are always subject to this management, to this information. So we're not talking about information governance actually. And my point here is that information governance is perhaps the next big thing in the industry. It's not only about finding the information, but also about managing it properly, about delivering it on time, delivering it to the right person, and making sure it has been used properly. Because a few days ago, I read in a blog somewhere about there was a big question which really drove tremendous interest from online users, which was could competitive intelligence professionals have foreseen the global crisis we're in currently? And yes, of course, they could have if they had the model, if they knew how to read the signs, and if they knew how to provide them to the executives, so that executives actually implemented this information. Otherwise, it would remain useless. And my point is here that governance of information governance is really crucial, and it's the next big thing to come. But when we talk about governance, it's nothing more than governing another asset in your company. It's governance, known concept of managing applied to a new dimension. What I mean is that, okay, every one of you has personal or business-related management experience concerning his own portfolio, his money. And information in a global environment such as we are in is actually an asset, and this information should be managed the way we manage our money, our funds. We are looking for profit. Now, the problem with management of information versus management of money is that usually they have different balance, because unfortunately money has this trend of decreasing, unlike information, which always grows. So what actually happens today, in my point of view, is that the higher the amount and the volume of information grows, the higher the money we have to, the higher the costs associated with its processing and finding the relevant information right on time. So it's actually bringing down the profits we have. And it's like a cycle. And this cycle will unfortunately continue to grow, just as James said right here. I've written it, costs are always growing. There is no offset of, yes, data, people, and technology. What I say is that information will be growing. Actually, an Economist Intelligence Unit research from a month ago, or it was IDC, sorry, they told that information will grow 10 times more in the next 5 years from its current levels. And they have this really nice-looking counter of how many bytes there are currently in the web, in a something they call a digital universe. Well, the number is higher than the number of the stars there are